Peace up to the family, peace up to the family. We at it with another episode. Wherever you guys might be in the world, I want to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Today's episode, I want to talk about the young brother out of Burkina Faso. But before we get into that, go ahead and hit that like, share, and subscribe to the platform family. Let's dive into it. Ibrahim Traore, 37 years old, Burkina Faso, took over the country and is definitely the people's champion. Seized the country, took hold of the gold refines, took hold of the farming industry, giving back to his people. And there you have African leaders coming out. You have Western leaders coming out in America. Speaking of Gen.Langley, speaking ignorantly, you can tell on this short clip, family, this man don't have an inkling as to what is going on. He's simply taking orders from the West, and they're trying to dim and take out Ibrahim's fire because he means so much to Burkina Faso, not just Burkina Faso, but Africa as a whole. Just to have this type of personality, this type of leader, this type of brother, this type of man at the forefront of what progression looked like for Africa and what independence looked like for Africa. He is an absolute problem. We all know Africa as a whole is very rich when it comes to resources, minerals, just this part of the world. Actually, the world needs Africa and not the other way around. All of the major resources that Africa has to offer, it's needed. Cellular phones, laptops, vehicles, lithium batteries, all of these things, the minerals come from right here. Gold, oil, I mean, the list goes on and on and on, fam. So when you see these forces kind of lining up against any powerful African leader that rises, you know it's about, one, the control of the resources in the region, and ultimately the major resource is Africa's people. We can't forget these things. And all we have to do is go down 50, 60, 70 years and see how these Western powers have monopolized and controlled the narrative, right? Control the people and its resources simply by dividing and conquering. And anytime you see the fall of a great African leader, they always prop up an African American or another African against your own brother. It always happens. Check out this short clip by Ibrahim Traore, and let's see what he has to say about these forces that's formulating against them. We already know there's been over 30 plus attempts on Ibrahim Traore's life. But let's see what exactly he has to say.
Recently, there is a so-called NGO. It's not even an NGO, because NGO stands for non-governmental organization. They are not non-governmental because they are funded by a federal budget, by a state. This so-called NGO produces reports claiming that the FDS and the VDP commit abuses. It went in here, it came out there. It's to tarnish your morale. It's to scare you, to prevent you from being able to fight. No. Moreover, we are going to file a complaint against this NGO because people need to understand something. what is happening to us here. It's true that they have manipulated part of our populations in the Sahel here, but they didn't have that kind of weaponry. What brought such significant weaponry into their ranks? It's Libya. Who destroyed Libya? It's this NGO, the same NGO that made false reports and gave them to those who wanted to create a rebellion so that people would intervene and overthrow Gaddafi. And the powder keg ended up being poured into the Sahel. These millions of lives that have been taken in the Sahel, we must file a complaint against this NGO because it is responsible for these false reports it made to support this thesis of attacking Libya. They have no moral lessons to give us. Look at the world. Let them go defend human rights all over the world first before coming here. We are fortunate to have similar situations. In this world, you voluntarily committed yourselves. There are countries where people are forcibly taken, killed. You leave or you die. Others, even while trying to flee, end up dying. They don't talk about human rights because these people see us as subhumans. They see us as slaves. That's how it is in their minds. They have never changed their mindset, but it's up to us to show them that we are not slaves and we will never accept this state of affairs.
Are we going for a good reason?
Does that sort of corruption and bribery go on with regard to the Belt and Road?
Absolutely, Chairman. I see this, and I don't mind calling them out, but Captain Traore and Burkina Faso, as they know that both, whether it's their gold reserves, that is all those proceeds are just in exchange to protect the junta regime. There's a number of examples across. Even in Sudan, what's going on with the rapid support forces and Burhan of the Sudan forces, when you get down to it, is all about the revenue that can be drawn out of that. And there are nefarious actors in the CCP and sometimes Russia are complicit in those activities.
And I'm telling you, this guy, Gen.Langley, is one of the weakest puppets that you can ever create. He doesn't know nothing. And all he says, I don't have a problem with calling him out. Captain General Ibrahim Traore, cut it out, man. Just go have a seat somewhere. Chano. In order for us to succeed as a people, as a continent, as a thriving, progressive continent, family, we have to be able to unify. Just like the Jews unify, just like the Chinese unify. You understand? Just like the Indians unify. That has to, we need to wrap our arms around these type of leaders in Ibrahim Traore. At 37 years old, I can name, you all know, what is the average 37-year-old man out here doing? He doesn't have these type of goals and achievements on his brain. He's still developing. Now this brother here is beyond his years. Beyond his years. And as a young man, he was poised and focused in doing for his people. So this type of leader don't come around often. So we have to take the opportunity now to wrap out, our prayers, our arms, our energy around this good brother, and also create more Ibrahim Traores. So a part of the education curriculum at the very tender age of elementary school, preschool, they have to see images and they have to hear lectures from men and women like Ibrahim Traore. So let us, going forward, study the principles, the tactics that's being used by Ibrahim. Let's study how Sankara was moving. Let's study how Lumumba was moving. Kwame Nkrumah. All of these great men, we have to study them, replicate, and multiply this energy, family. So, I just wanted to come on and give us some words of encouragement, inspiration, and in this day and age, going into we're in 2025, going into 2026, in the latter years to come, that we must be studious in these kind of affairs, because they depend on our ignorance as a whole. They depend upon us partying and drinking and smoking and wanting to be in the clouds. But no, it's a new day, family. This is your brother Samal. I'm going to tune out just to tune back in. But let us all be mindful of our heart, our minds, and what enters these ears. Let us be studious. Let what it says in the scriptures, study to show thyself approved. Until next time, family, the next video is loading up. So let me get up out of here. Channel.